Welcome to the Best by the Worst. The best movies of all time, reviewed by the worst possible critics. If you don't believe us, keep listening to find out. All right.
Welcome, Barrett.
Hello.
Hello.
Oh, hey, Josh.
Hey,
Hello.
Josh.
Oh, hi, Mark.
We're not going through that again.
Yeah.
All right. Normally, the podcast would start with some beers cracking into the microphones, but Alex has said he wants the top of the show. I don't know what's going on. All as he said is, I need the start of the show. You'll understand what's happening soon.
Yeah, and thank you for the trust, Barrett.
Here we go.
Josh probably has no idea what's actually happening.
No
but,
clue. Let's go.
Well, Barrett doesn't know either. It's all very confusing for everyone, but I know what's going on, and thank you for trusting me, boys.
Yeah.
I would not betray this trust. So I received a voice message from Daniel Fazio. Shout out to...
Got to bleep his name now.
Oh, yeah. Sorry. Well, I don't know. We're really spruiking his business. They're going to quickly determine what his name is through that. But anyway, shout out to ISA Industries?
Call it ISA Australia.
ISA
there's
Australia, yeah,
Industrial Solutions Australia.
I love it.
He sent me this voice clip just before we watched our latest movie tonight.
Yeah.
Blew me away. And here it is.
Hi, gents. I thought I'd make this little quick group and this quick voice note just to inform you of something you may or may not have seen yet. It really doesn't bode well for your push for a sponsorship on the podcast. I'm not quite sure if you've seen it, but if you haven't, spoiler alert, Deeds Brewing is gone into liquidation, or has gone into liquidation as of, I think, today or yesterday. Or overnight was the article. So I know that you guys have been peddling their beers heavily, and that on one of the previous episodes there was a spot for sponsorship. I guess they never filled it, or Alex didn't get his checkbook out quick enough, or heavy enough, and now they're gone. So I guess you could probably do a farewell brew. I'm not sure.
My goodness.
Did you guys know?
That is devastating.
Yeah.
What?
Talk about all your eggs in one basket.
Oh my god.
Oh, yeah. Like, I thought if anything, our podcast with its fame would pick them up, but I guess we didn't intervene in time.
Hey, maybe they'll have some spare stock now that they need to just get out the door.
Right? Kind of explains why they made this beer as well.
That's the sponsored by beer. Alex just picked up then.
So, and hence why we did get some Deed brews this time around. I didn't want to tell you guys why. Granted, we've been drinking a lot of Deeds beers anyway, and they're good, but this is a send-off.
Little send-off. I love it.
So for anyone that can't see, is listening audio only, we've got some Deeds beers on the table in front of us. We didn't know what was going on, and I'm quite frankly devastated by the news.
Yeah.
So
That is quite sad.
yeah. So shout out to Deeds. Could be a sponsor, but not anymore.
Could have.
Could have been. Could have been a sponsor.
The coulda, woulda, shoulda sponsor.
Yeah.
Right, well,
All right.
we're going to have to crack these into the microphone and enjoy them.
Literally pour one out for Deeds Brewing.
To Deeds. Oh, fuck.
That was, yep.
Oh, man.
It's a boy. Jesus, went everywhere. Barry, you have to give me some of those napkins for your table.
Hang on. I'm going to have to get it.
just
I'm going to have
jizzed
to
all
get up
over
and
me.
get a wipe, aren't I?
Is this what happens when...
It even went on the mic.
Is this what happens when he has one beer while we're watching the movie?
I just opened the can.
Oh. All right, hang on. Give me one moment. And look at your pour.
Man, it poured terribly. It exploded everywhere. It was overcarbonated. And then
Unreal.
It's
It's going to be your last Deeds beer and, it's just a disaster.
well, clearly they went under for a reason, didn't they?
maybe that's why they went out of business. They couldn't carbonate a beer properly.
Deeds Brewing.
Hang on.
Could have been a sponsor.
This is opens here, mate.
Is it always this much of a shit show in the beginning?
Oh, this is a good start.
Oh, love it.
Better hope that Brooke doesn't watch this.
Oh, yeah, you're in trouble.
It was a legitimate mistake.
It wasn't a mistake. I just opened the can.
Have you been drinking beer long?
You watched it. I've actually video footage.
I did. He did just open it normally. Yeah, that was.
It was super cold.
Yeah.
That's all good.
No, it's all good. I cleaned it.
These smell nice.
They do.
Shout out to Dettol.
Thank you.
So that kind of
Disinfectant
podcast.
wipes smell delicious. Clean up. Could be a sponsor.
Yeah, I don't know. I think we might have like a bit of a curse approach here where every time we name a sponsor, the company goes down.
I mean, there's a list of other breweries on here that we can probably get on board.
get all the sponsored by breweries off
Yeah,
the
yeah,
Yeah,
can.
just get these requests where they say, we will sponsor you not to sponsor us, please.
Yeah.
We don't want the curse of your podcast lingering.
So is that the first company we've officially ruined?
Yeah, first one we wanted to sponsor us and first one we sank.
Oh, shit.
Let's hope that
drink to
ISA
that.
Australia isn't next.
Yeah, to Deeds Brewing.
To Deeds
Today's
Brewing.
brewing.
Could have been a sponsor.
Good of.
We'll have to find another struggling brewery to drink next time.
There's plenty of them.
There's plenty of them.
It also probably makes sense why everyone sent their messages trying to get them on board with this disaster of a podcast, and they did not reply.
No one replied. Yeah.
Yeah, they were too busy dealing with the lawyers.
All right. I'm going to get us back on track because I
Yeah.
feel like
Yeah.
quickly it's evolving into my role is to keep steering the discussion back to
Yes.
where it should be.
We are here to dismantle it.
Yes. All right. So, who are we? We're the best by the worst. Where are we from? We're from Perth, Western Australia. I'm Barrett.
I'm Alex.
I'm Josh.
Yeah, welcome,
Hello.
Josh. Yeah. What are we doing? We're reviewing every movie to have ever won Best Picture. You know, starting at the
Yeah.
start so you don't have to. We're going to try and bring a theme into each episode. I didn't write any down this time, but I saw you boys writing some down.
I was doing a scribble.
Yeah. So I'm sure you'll carry me through on that one. Last thing, we just need to really reiterate, we're going to have spoilers.
Really?
Yeah.
I thought this is spoiler free.
No.
Look,
Yeah, we're going to spoil the shit out of this.
honestly, the title is a spoiler in itself.
Is there a mutiny?
We could have mutiny on a podcast.
Yeah.
Oh, no.
Oi, you boys better watch yourselves.
So, just want to shout out to Josh joining us for the first time, our second ever guest.
Yeah.
It was supposed to be our first guest, but blew us off.
Hey, man's busy.
But we managed to pin him down.
Yeah. We got
Can't
him in here.
Wait.
Yeah, there's going to be some shit talking for sure.
Oh, yes. Oh, yes.
All right. Well,
What did we watch this week, Barrett?
I'll kick us off with the movie. So, the 1935 winner, Mutiny on the Bounty.
You got it right this time.
I did. I think that's the first time.
Lemon.
Unreal.
I like this beer.
Yeah, this beer is delicious.
I have a different beer, so can't
Oh,
relate.
just try it.
Thanks.
Bit flat.
If we didn't tip half of it on the floor, you'd have a full glass as well.
I was set up.
I saw Josh shaking it offset.
It's called a lemon hazy pale, so that's probably why it tastes like lemon.
Indeed.
Yep.
Story checks out.
Literally does what it says on the can.
Yep. Literal can of beer. Literal liquidation.
Literal liquidation.
All right. The movie had a budget of $1.9 million.
That doesn't seem very high considering the movie.
For the 30s?
That's $44 million today.
Yeah, that is
I
a
guess.
lot.
Yeah, okay.
Considering the last movie had a budget of $750,000.
Yeah, but nothing really happened in that. You know, like this movie, we'll get to it, but, you know, it's filmed on water, big boat. Like, that
Mutiny.
would be hard to... Yeah, well, yeah. It would have been hard to film, though, for sure.
Yeah. The plot. It's a true story.
Well, is it a true story?
Yeah. Well, mostly true.
Yeah.
And-
Based on?
Well, the
Interesting.
novel came out in 1932 as well. So it continues that trend where this book comes out and they pump the movie out pretty quickly.
Yeah. I think just nowadays they've run out of books, so they're just digging through old books trying to find something good to make.
Don't
Well, there
think
is
they
a
run
re-
out of books. But
There is a remake, right?
Yeah,
There is a
there is
remake in the 60s.
Yeah.
Oh, you are a powder monkey. You are.
There it is.
Nice. All right, so I'm going to try and summarize the plot.
I'm gonna tick every time I say that.
The boat sails off. The captain of that boat is horrible. There's a
Yes.
mutiny.
We'll get to that.
The mutineers run away. The captain seeks revenge.
Yeah,
Have I adequately summarized the movie?
That's pretty much it, yeah.
you have. Look, starring a few actors, but really, there's just two I want to shout out to. One, Clark Gable, so back-to-back Best Picture winners. Last week we reviewed
Handsome
It Happened
man.
One Night, and he won Best Picture in that. Well, he won a few things from that, but
Yeah.
won Best Picture. This year, back-to-back wins.
Yeah.
And Clark Gable, you can just see he's just shot up to the top.
He's the boy.
Good-looking chap.
Good looking chap.
He's killing it.
100%. Now, did you also know that it was the same director as Cimarron?
Really?
Yeah.
That actually ties in well with my next fact, the second actor I want to shout out to. That's really cool, though. But again, another call out for another actor that you guys, or you wouldn't have known, but you. Remember when I said that actor looks familiar?
Yeah.
You
The
do that a
chef,
lot,
the
though.
cleaner?
The chef, yeah.
Yeah, this is my secret power. So I thought, no, I know this guy. So I did some digging, gave it a goog, and that guy was Alfred from Cavalcade,
Ah!
the guy that got trampled.
I'm laughing extra hard because Josh is laughing just at that sentence because he hasn't seen the
I know,
scene.
but the thought of him getting trampled, and in
Yeah.
this movie, he literally was barely in it as he's just a backup dude, but you noticed him in
I
both.
noticed him.
Perfect.
I
Love
just
it.
have that superpower.
I love it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Wild. So yeah, shout out to our man Alfred.
Yeah.
Nice.
Poor Alfred.
He lived in it. He survived in this one, so
Did he?
Yeah.
Oh, you did.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
For now.
All right.
Yeah.
Fun fact though, he's definitely dead.
Oh,
now.
yep.
They're all dead. I did check. You
did look?
Yeah, I did
Thank you.
check. I did. There was a few babies, and I tried to find who the actors of the babies
Oh my
were
God.
to see if they were alive. Couldn't find them. They weren't
Doesn't
credited.
feel right, does it, to say?
I was looking for the babies. Yeah, that's.
I was
I
looking
was just
for-
checking if the babies were alive or dead.
Goodness gracious, Alex. Why don't you set us up for the year?
Yes. So before we get into it, so already some great facts. I loved your one. I thought mine was pretty random. So we're already starting to see now some similar actors. Great. But to set the scene for the year, this is something that we've been doing and we had a lot of good feedback on. So 1935, some fun facts, and one from Australia.
Here we go.
So Australia's always last. But anyway, you'll love this. Oh, this was my favorite fact. So this actually, for me, almost, it doesn't quite beat the Emu War, but it gets close. 1935, first canned beer.
Ooh.
Oh,
Wait,
yeah.
boys, that
Yeah.
surely
Yeah,
that
come on.
deserves
Oh,
it.
Yes.
Oh,
Come on.
I'm here
come
too.
on, come on.
left you hanging.
Okay, so what was
Shout
it?
out, yeah.
American company. Kruger's Cream Ale. Sounds good.
It does.
I looked at it and I thought, I want me some cream ale.
Does it still exist?
Don't know.
Email. Yeah.
Kruger's Cream Ale.
Maybe we can find a can from 1935 and drink it on the podcast.
Imagine how much
Yeah,
it'd
let
be
me
worth
write
now.
that down. It's Kruger's with a K.
Yeah, with a K. Kruger's Cream Ale.
Cream with a K.
That's
Krispy Kreme.
Yeah,
not bad. I like that.
I liked it. Next fact.
I made that up.
It could be, though. And we could be onto something.
Yeah.
Probably gone into liquidation.
So next fact. So airplanes in this year no longer allowed to fly over the White House. This is the year when they banned it.
Right.
I guess they were coming up with their plans. I actually shouldn't say that. It's another conspiracy. Might get me in trouble.
I don't
Not
wanna
that kind of podcast.
I don't want to be bleeping things out.
Jet fuel.
We're here to talk,
Cartmel,
we're here to
steel
talk about
beams. That's all I'm
movies. We're
saying.
here to talk about movies, all right? Right?
Yeah.
All right. Next fact. Hitler orders the rearmament of Germany in violation of the Treaty of Versailles.
Hang on. So
Seals,
was
Versailles.
it the last episode that you said the treaty had been signed? Or that was only with Poland?
No. So they had signed a non-aggression treaty with Poland for 10 years, which clearly didn't pan out. But this year, so again, you can see everything ramping up as we lead into World War II. This is when, obviously, after World War I, Germany had to sign that treaty, which said that they couldn't have an army, essentially, and had to reduce everything. But Hitler this year just said, no, fuck it, abandoned that treaty and started that rearmament.
Huge.
Yeah.
Right.
We got canned beers though.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
Great.
Highs and lows.
Exactly. They would have been sitting there with a Kruger's cream hole. Well, fucking in Germany, they're getting weapons
Hitler's
again.
like, grab me another sixer of the Krugers.
The Kruger sounds German too. So
It does.
Maybe they did it by design to slow down the Yanks.
Get all drunk.
Okay. Oh, this is a good one too. Compulsory driving tests and license plates introduced in the UK.
Ooh.
True.
Yeah, 1935.
Cool.
Wow. Yeah.
Cool. I like it.
The Australian.
Oh.
This is good too. Shout out to our Queensland brothers and sisters.
Oh no, what have they done this
The
time?
cane toad introduced in Queensland. And they've thrived ever since.
Yeah.
How did that pan out for them?
Yeah, not great. If anyone doesn't know what a cane toad is or its impact to Australia, hot tip, not great. They're not liked and should not have been introduced.
Absolute pests. Even more than me after a couple of beers.
Yeah, you're our cane toad.
I'm the cane toad. Yeah.
So yeah, that's my fun facts, 1935. Here we go.
Love it.
Fantastic. All right, so we'll continue the way we've been going, where I will do my best to try and steer this ship, pun intended.
Please.
Uh,
Second pun for the night.
I'll
like
get to
it.
the other part.
I like it.
I'll keep this sailing straight, and you guys try and cause mutiny.
Look, we're all in the same boat.
Yeah. All right. So I have I've written numbers this time. I am organised. My facts are written into the, I guess, agenda of what we're going to talk about.
Okay.
So number 4, straight off the bat. Well, you don't need to know the number. I hope I don't steal anyone's
Typically,
facts.
we start at 4.
Yes.
Usually, yeah.
So this was the last movie to win only Best Picture.
You're dead
Oh, just by
right.
itself.
Yeah.
You're dead
Ah.
right. I was going to leave this to later, but now that you brought it up, so you're right. But then I also observed something else. So we talked about the novel 1932. This won Best Picture, and it only won that, right? And last week we talked about how rare that was. It was the week before. Maybe the week before.
They're all blending into one.
Exactly. Anyway, so it only won this, right? It was nominated for most of the other major awards, but it only won this one. And then I thought, I just saw to the right of it, what movie won all the other awards? Or which movies won the other awards? And I noticed the same year, so this movie wins Best Picture, but a movie called The Informer, just Informer. Yeah, I think it's just Informer, won Best Director, Best Actor, Best Screenplay, Best Music Scoring.
Oh.
But here we are reviewing
Something
a different
fishy
movie.
going on there.
Right?
Yeah.
I thought that was fucking strange.
Yeah. That's weird.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. Right. Captain Blight
Shenanigans.
must have had something to do with this.
Yeah, I think it's the Clark Gable effect.
Oh, yes.
He's the man.
He's a good-looking man.
Basically, you want to win, you need Clark.
Yeah. All right. I'll start us off.
For now, anyway. For the last couple of years, anyway.
I'll start us off summarising. You guys feel free to jump in
Yeah.
anytime you're ready to
Let's
drop
go.
something in. So, movie opens with some text on the screen, which
Yeah,
we
like-
had to rewind
Rewind.
because
Sad
it
Star
was
Wars.
quite fast.
Yeah.
Sad
Sad Star Wars. Yeah.
Yeah.
It was fast, though.
It was fast. We had
It
to
was
stop
fast.
and rewind
Yeah,
it.
yeah, I didn't have my glasses with me, but you two boys, you were all over it.
I mean, you guys weren't paying attention, and I had started reading,
Oh,
and even after you rewound it so that we could watch it again, I still had to read it again because it was going that fast.
Yeah.
Oh.
And then the opening scenes are some men walking into a bar.
Yes.
All right. And I guess there's a group of people drinking in there. They're going to be...
Let me stop you real quick.
Okay, yeah.
The real intro was a sea shanty.
Yes.
And I know because that's number one here on my list of things that I enjoyed about the movie.
You were going to miss the sea shanty.
Very-
Sea Shanty was in the bar.
The very, very first thing that happened as soon as it started
Yeah.
was a sea shanty.
If Josh could have danced, he would have.
I 100% would have. Anyway, yeah.
Alright.
The sea shanty happened.
Yeah.
Then they went into the bar. Let's
Yeah,
go.
and it looks like there's just some people drinking in the bar, but it turns out they're the crew of the ship.
Yes.
Yeah.
Getting ready for their journey.
Were they the crew of the ship,
Or were they recruited?
Yeah, they were. They would have been like recruited, enlisted, however it works. Like you don't have a choice. You're going to
Yeah,
sea.
because it was a naval
Yeah,
ship.
it was
Yeah.
They were like, you don't have a choice.
Yeah.
Get on the boat.
Get on the ship, powder
Yeah.
monkey.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's another tick.
Yeah. And at that moment, they find out that the captain of the ship is going to be Captain Bligh.
Yeah.
Am I saying that right?
Bligh?
Bligh.
Bligh.
Bligh. Captain
Yeah.
Bligh.
Also, 1787.
1787.
Oh, yeah,
that's
thanks.
the
I
year.
didn't even write that down. Yeah.
It's going to be a 2-year trip.
Yeah. And do you remember what the text said? So the reason for the trip should cover that. So why are they going on this journey?
Yeah, they're going to go get some, what was it?
Breadfruit.
Breadfruit
cheese
Yeah.
from
Can we
Tahiti.
just address what the fuck is a breadfruit tree?
Hey, I actually can tell you what a breadfruit tree
You
is.
son of a gun.
It is part of the family that jackfruit comes from.
Okay.
They're like a big green bulbous fruit,
Yeah.
but you treat them like potato. Put them in stews. You can like boil them and
Oh, so like a
chuck them
fake
on a
potato.
fire. It's like, but they're the size of a football.
Yeah, right.
Big potato.
Like
A
just
very
starchy,
large
right?
potato.
Yeah.
Yeah. Let's make some stuffed potatoes. With,
Yeah. Well, the whole reason that kind of adds up then too,
Yeah.
because they're getting these trees to get that fruit
yeah.
to feed slaves.
Yes. Essentially, the roots and leaves, they used to make medicine, but it was never proven that they actually work. So, but
Like a lot of modern medicine. Another conspiracy.
No.
Sorry.
Hey.
Stop.
Sorry.
Here we go. Here we go.
There is an interesting sentence that's said at that time, and it's Captain Bligh is a seagoing disaster.
I missed that. But
One of the sailors calls it out.
yeah.
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 Foreboding.
Yeah.
All the foreboding was in the last episode.
Oh, well, here too.
All right. So they're boarding a ship, and one of the crew tries to break ship, is what they describe it as. He doesn't want to
Doesn't
go.
wanna go, yeah.
He wants to stay with his wife and child.
Understandably.
Like a newborn. Yeah.
Well, don't play with that.
Oh, it was a hair.
It's very noisy if you play with the microphone stand.
You are a guest here. Josh.
Well, I'm just saying so I don't have to try and fix
Yeah.
it in post and cut it out.
Guests are disposable.
Yeah, we can mute. Nah.
Tough crowd.
I'll mutiny. I swear to God.
This is we're actually acting out the plot.
And then, okay, once that happens, we have a guy getting hoisted onto the ship, and I'm going to let Josh take this away because he was so excited. when
This is
happened.
my number 2 favorite thing about the movie. A drunk, one-legged guy gets hoisted on to the ship with a whole pallet of booze, and then they let you know that he is the ship's surgeon.
Oh, nothing lost, Mr. Christian. Think I've got enough here for a 2 years voyage?
Oh, you know your draft better than I do,
My lad, nobody can estimate my draft.
Mr. Byron, this is our ship surgeon. We call him Mr. Backus. He's never told us his real name.
I've forgotten.
Pleased to meet you, sir.
Mr. Byam, I should never have gone ashore. England's only an island, and all islands are alike. I'm going below. Bear a hand.
My boy.
Oh yeah.
My boy.
So we found the 1787 Josh.
He is literally me. If anyone doesn't know, right now I have something wrong with my left leg and I can barely walk. So yeah, this guy, he's my guy.
So we can just cut it off, give you a...
Give me a peg leg and a pallet full of booze, and I'll be a surgeon. Is what I'm saying.
Perfect. Well, we got the booze part sorted.
Yeah,
We got the
yeah.
leg part sorted. We'll just get a pallet.
If you need a pallet.
Yeah. From there, we go ahead and pretty much introduce the rest of the cast.
Yep.
Or crew.
Crew.
Yeah, you made a
Crew,
point
yes.
that they did quite a good job of
They
doing
did a
that.
really good job of introducing, saying names quite often.
Yeah, they got on the boat quickly, which is good, right?
Yeah.
Because at the end of the day, that's the plot. So, they introduced the characters,
Yeah.
some, fucking around at port, and then boom, on the boat.
Yeah, this is where I want to weave in my second fact.
Weave
And
it
I
in.
reckon this is the fact that when we were filming, or watching, you said, oh, I've got a fact that you're going to love. I reckon this is it, 100%. is your fact about The Simpsons.
No.
Oh, good.
Wow. Okay.
Okay, Simpsons fact. Let's go.
Oh, let me guess. The Simpsons predicted something in this movie?
No.
I
Incorrect.
mean,
Oh, hang on.
can you
that doesn't make
predict
sense.
if it was like 70 years ago?
You might predict this podcast.
in season 17.
Conspiracy.
In season 17,
Yeah.
so did it really happen? Because anything after season 10 didn't
Doesn't
happen.
exist.
Yeah.
Shit, yeah.
There was an episode called The Wettest Stories Ever Told.
Hot.
You sure you were watching The Simpsons?
Yes. And basically, it is this movie done with the Simpsons characters.
Really?
Guess who Captain Blight is? If you were going
Is
to.
it Burns?
No.
Oh, yeah, I guess. Apu?
No. Principal Skinner.
Yeah, that adds up.
That's kind of funny.
And
yeah.
guess who all of the crew are?
It's the kids. Like
All
school
of the kids.
That's
Yeah.
hilarious. That is hilarious.
That's kind of cool. I kind of want to watch that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was that?
Season 17.
Episode.
You don't
That
have
was
it,
there,
yeah.
but I didn't write it down.
Okay.
I didn't think that was important enough information. You can find it though. It's called
I'll find
the Wettest Stories Ever Told.
I have Disney Plus. I'll look it up.
Yeah, you should just Google that. But
I'm not going to. I'm not going
The
to.
Wettest Stories Ever Told.
I'm not gonna do
Straight into Google.
I'm not going to do that.
See what happens.
Yeah. I might do it later. We'll see.
All right. We then see a scene of Captain Blight, and he is administering a punishment to a guy. I'm not sure what he's done, but the guy's down in like a lifeboat.
That was the guy that struck him.
Oh,
in
yes.
the last
So,
mission.
yeah,
but this
in the last trip.
the ship hasn't even left the port.
Yeah, so we're in the
Yeah,
port.
shit like that, yeah.
There's like a little dinghy boat thing down beside the Bounty.
Yeah.
And that's
Yep.
the boat.
That's
Yeah.
the one. It's a
and,
ship.
And the guy's in it, and he basically
Submarine?
said he's going to receive his punishment. It's going to be 24 lashings
dozen.
or something like that.
Yeah.
And essentially, the guy down in the dinghy says, "Oh, he's already dead." And
Yeah.
what does Captain Blight say to that? Who wants to cut in?
Well, do the punishment anyway.
Mr. Morrison, 24, I believe.
24 it is, sir.
The man is dead, sir.
Dead? Shall I dismiss the men, sir? What? Certainly not. We'll proceed with punishment. Bosun, do your duty.
Whip
Yeah.
him anyway.
Yeah, and they do.
Yeah,
Prove a point.
yeah. So they whip the dead guy, and was it one of the sailors faints watching?
Yeah,
this?
it does. Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Yes. Yeah, it's pretty grim.
Yeah.
Yeah, great way to start your trip.
Yeah, that's one way to get the crew in good spirits, isn't it?
Yeah, it's kind of like if you're going on a road trip.
Beating your dead friend even more.
But isn't it? Like you're about to go on a road trip. First thing that happens when you get in the car, flat tire.
Yeah.
What do you think? I'm not going on this road trip. Right?
No,
Yeah, that's a
I'm
bad
gonna
sign.
give the flat tire 24 lashings.
Yeah, I'm going to stab the flat tire a few times. Yeah,
to make sure it's
just
flat.
to make sure it's flat and then change it.
All right, so the ship sails out of the harbour, and I've got blank questions Blight's methods. But blank is, what's his name? What's the name?
Oh, Fletcher.
Fletcher
Christensen.
Or Christian.
yeah,
Yeah.
Fletcher Christian, yeah.
Yeah.
All right, I'll refer to him as Christian from here on out.
Cool. Yep.
I don't know why this scene is, well, they're all seasick.
Oh, yeah, because they were watching the lamp?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, I didn't really understand that scene.
Yeah.
So
That was a bit confusing.
who wants to describe what was going on?
They
for
were
it.
all sitting in like one of their little barracks, I guess,
Yep.
and the lamp hanging from the roof. And who was it that kept swinging it? One of them kept swinging it.
I thought it was just swinging from the boat rocking.
No, but one of them kept swinging it to make it
Yeah,
swing
to
even
piss
more.
them off,
to piss
yeah.
them off, yeah, because it made them seasick. And then was it Christian came in and started asking them questions, and they were all looking at the lamp, trying to explain whatever he was talking about. I don't even remember, something about navigation. And all of them ended up seasick just from watching this lamp. All of them
Yeah.
ended up throwing up, and then he ended up almost throwing up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then we cut to a scene of people on the deck and they're throwing
And
up
they're
off
throwing
the
up, yeah.
side of the deck.
Yeah.
Then
that
there
was
was-
confusing. I
Then
don't
there was some fisticuffs.
Was that in
No,
Was
I
it-
think that's
that
later.
was a bit later.
This
Yeah.
is the classic Alex jump ahead.
Sorry. I'm just
It
excited.
was in this look. It was in the same room. They were wearing the same things. I get it.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But can I just randomly shout out as well, because I did make a note of this. The
Yeah,
captain,
send it.
we already said the scene that he seems like a bit of a dick, but
Yeah.
we don't really know the full scope of that yet. But boy, his eyebrows, the scope of them took up the screen.
Okay, you say that, but that motherfucker's hat.
Okay.
You've been going on about this hat for hours. Go.
Okay, the whole 2 hours, every single time he was on screen, that hat. Oh my god, it was like fur or like suede or something, and then it had the
Yeah.
big flower on one side.
Like black
Big
flower,
black
right?
flower. Oh man, what a hat! Yeah, absolutely pissed on everyone else's hats.
But you know what? I every time I saw it, I thought, fuck, Josh would look fly in that hat.
I would look amazing in that.
You
hat.
would pull it off.
100%.
Rock up to
100%.
the tavern.
Yeah.
I won't say which one it is because I don't want to locate us. But let's go to the tav with that little hat on.
Yeah, perfect.
What a scene.
Yeah.
Blend right in.
Yeah. Blend right in.
Yeah.
Look, probably with some of the folks there. Yeah, for sure.
Oh, you would look great.
Yeah, I would rock that and catch me on Google after I leave here trying to find one.
Oh yeah, yeah. But you know what? Like we were just talking about that too. We're thinking, okay, if you cut all the other stuff that happened in the movie and just the tough nature of that time traveling by boat and all the rest of it, but like today, if you just had like a pimp boat, you had your boys, and you went on a journey to Tahiti to go get some plants, all right? How fun would that
Absolute
be?
dream.
How fun would that be? You just have, a complete boat full of booze,
Booze, there'd be food.
your boys
You get to climb up to the top of the thing
on the ocean.
We're
having a fat time.
Straight up chilling.
Sea shanties.
Sea shanties.
hats.
Sea shat. Okay, we
You
all
can
get
wear your
the
hat the
hats.
whole time.
Yo, take me back, bro. Take me back.
No captain,
No captain.
We're all captains.
We're all captains.
We're
Yeah,
all
yeah, yeah.
captains.
Well, why are you talking about the captain? Let's talk about some of his punishments because that's the next thing I had. He sent one of the guys to the top of the mast until I say come down,
Yeah.
Yeah.
and that ended poorly for him.
Well,
Well, I
you
mean,
never told him to come down.
Someone brought him down, right? And then he was like, "Why did you bring him down? Put him back up."
Yeah. But that was Clark Gable's character.
Yeah. It
Fletcher
was
Fletcher
brought him down.
Because this guy was up there for so long, he tied himself by the
yeah.
waist to the post so he didn't fall off because he was passing out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then
Brutal.
yeah, definitely brutal. And then we cut to a scene, and we see this scene a few times. It's just a world map, and they're sort of charting out where they're going. A few zigzags.
Yeah, there was a few zigzags at the bottom of South America.
Yeah. But it showed this map scene showed them leaving Britain.
Yes.
Yep.
Called Britain?
Britain.
No, it was called
You know-
something. No, it wasn't called Britain. It
Portsmouth.
was-
They were in Portsmouth.
yeah, but it was called something else. It was like Great Land of Britain or
Well, yeah.
some
Something
old
like that.
name for.
But yeah, the port was Portsmouth.
yeah.
It was Britain.
Yeah.
I guess Captain Blight, he's still causing problems.
Yeah, and there was a great quote here that we all laughed at that I wanted to mention.
Yeah,
please.
He's pissing everyone off. He's a bit of a dick. And he called one of the sailors there, just one of the Joe blogs, a thief. And he turns around, he's like talking to his mate. He's walked away a little bit and he goes, "A thief? Nobody calls me a thief except the men I steal from."
Thief. Nobody calls me a thief but the man I steals from. Half rations.
Yeah, that was brilliant.
Right.
That was brilliant.
Love that.
Yeah. I do remember as well them saying at the start before they left that if they didn't have time, they wouldn't stop to resupply in Africa. He's like, let's push through, let's not stop.
Yeah.
And obviously that's probably what caused some of the later troubles, which I'm sure you'll hear about.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Spoiler,
Oh, yes.
mutiny.
Yeah. yeah.
Yeah. But hang on, I can't remember because around this time too, when he's just being a dick, he throws that guy overboard as punishment, right?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, that's right.
What
yeah.
did he do?
So it was called, what's the front of the boat called? Bow to stern? Is the bow the
I don't know.
front?
You're the airplane guy. I assume you'd be the boat guy too.
I think it's bow to stern is what they said. His punishment is bow to stern. And they threw him off the front of the ship with a rope tied to him
Yeah,
and let him run
they
under
pulled
the
him up
under the
back.
ship.
Yeah,
so he
but
could,
what did he do?
I don't know what he did for
I
that.
can't remember what he did.
It was something small.
But he got torn up by all the barnacles on the bottom of the boat.
It was so good though. I love this because when they did the scene of him being underwater, it was just a figurine,
a little toy,
a little toy that they just had like real stiff, just going blink, blink, blink under the water, and then they pulled him back up and he was dead.
Yeah,
Poor bugger.
Regular floggings. He tied someone to the rigging.
Yeah.
No.
He's also not feeding them very much, and the quality of the food's real crap. I picked up anything later, but did you guys pick up on why the food was so shit?
Because they were on a ship in the middle of the sea?
No.
Months at a time.
It came up later. So again, this captain being a dick, he was pocketing the difference. He was getting worse quality provisions.
Yeah, that's right. He did mention that. Yeah, he was buying shit food.
He was buying shit meat, shit food, and then obviously pocketing the rest.
Yeah.
And so they weren't happy about that.
Yeah.
There's, at this point, there's some stolen cheese. To where...
Oh, the cheesegate.
Let's go.
What happened with the stolen cheese?
So they're doing...
So he blames Christian, right?
Well, they're doing a stock take, and one of the guys reports to the captain.
Yeah.
Hey, we're missing 100 pounds of cheese.
Yeah.
His captain starts losing his mind, right? So he just assumes it's been stolen. And then, like you said, blames
Christian because Christian was the one that was supposed to be guarding.
Well, he was on that shift.
He was on that shift,
when it went missing.
Yeah.
And then one of the other guys comes up and says, well, what are you talking about, Captain? You told me when we were back at port, one of the stops, or maybe before they left, to take it
off,
yeah, because I lost my own personal time to take it to your house, like you directed me to. And he's like, what are you talking about? So the jig's up, right? Like he's pocketing extra money by getting worse provisions.
Yeah,
he sent 100 pounds of cheese back to his home, and then he punishes that guy with lashings for exposing him,
for telling the truth. Yeah.
And then they're having the captain's quarters. They're having dinner, and the captain gets some cheese from Alfred, or the chef. I'm going to call him Alfred.
Alfred,
Kiss from Cavalcade is Alfred.
I don't think we really got his name, did we?
No, he's Alfred now. So he gives the captain some cheese, and the captain's like asking first to Christian,
yeah,
do you want some cheese? No, I don't want any cheese. Ask the next guy. No, I don't want any cheese. Ask the next guy. No, I don't want any cheese. And the last guy, same thing. The captain's immediately suspicious. On the fourth guy's actually the surgeon. So the surgeon got to eat with the other captains in the captain's quarter with him. So immediately captain's suspicious, like, why is no one taking the cheese?
He literally says, you're quite partial of cheese.
Well, to Christian.
Yeah.
Says, you always eat cheese, but now you're not. And he goes, oh, not tonight. When they're obviously all they're not happy with him, they know what he's done, and this is their show of defiance, but trying to do it in a coy way so they can't be punished.
Yes.
Right? Yeah. So he's not happy, and he flies off the handle.
Yeah. We then cut to a scene of the men back on deck. They're starving. And they've got this piece of pork. There's rotten pork. They're trying to catch a fish. They see a shark overboard. They're like, we're going to catch a shark. So they put their last piece of pork on a giant hook, throw it overboard, catch the shark, get the shark on deck, start out in a big fight over who's going to eat the shark. Then the captain comes out and administers more lashings.
Well, yes, he's standing in the background.
Yeah.
When the guy it's the dude that does the lashings, right, asks for some.
Yeah.
And he gets slapped in the face with a big old piece of shark.
Yeah.
And the dude that did the slapping, obviously because the captain saw, there's the lashings.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And the guy that needed the lashings needed medical aid.
Oh, yes.
So the doctor comes. Or the surgeon comes.
My boy.
Right. Come on, Josh.
Josh Jr. comes in.
He prescribed him. What did he prescribe him with? A big old bottle of rum.
The surgeon can barely stand up, and he's prescribing just more alcohol.
My boy.
That's exactly what happened.
I do want to just chuck in here as well that the cook throwing the buckets of water overboard.
Alfred, yeah.
It comes up twice in the movie. I think like sort of in between where we're kind of at now.
Yes.
At the very beginning, he just throws a bucket of wastewater over the side of the ship, and the wind blows it perfectly just right back in his face.
It's perfect.
Hilarious. So funny. And then for the rest of the movie, he's checking the wind about which way he needs to throw the water. And the next time he does throw the water, he just yeets the whole bucket overboard.
Well, that scene where he comes out on the deck and he's like licks his finger and
licks his
holds it
finger,
up.
check the
Can't
wind.
work out which way the wind's going, so carries
Takes
the
it
bucket
back
back
down.
under, and there's like 20 buckets on the ground.
Absolutely. If like the comic relief that you needed in this movie is 100% that guy
The cook.
throwing the buckets. 100%.
Classic
100%.
Alfred shenanigans. But what I love in that scene where they're starving, they're trying to catch that shark, and it really goes into what the captain's trying to do. You know, that guy that ends up, getting punished in the lashings and then treated with brandy. He goes, I'm so weak, I'm peaceful. You know, he's trying to break their spirit. And he's done that successfully.
100%. Yeah. Yeah, I'm so weak, I'm peaceful is a line. Holy moly. Yeah.
I'll put in one more piece, and then we're going to break for beer.
Love it. Beer break.
So
Let's go.
the next thing they do is they finish sailing to Tahiti. All right, we get a map scene, and that's where they land. And that's where I want to weave in just one other little fact that I found in my little deep dive. I was deep today.
Give it to us.
I think his name is James Cagney, Cagney.
I thought you were going to say James Cameron.
No, not James Cameron.
yet.
He wasn't there in his submarine.
Not yet.
Not yet. James Cagney. He was a famous actor at the time.
Okay.
Very famous actor in lots of movies before and after this one. He was on holiday in Tahiti
Oh, wow.
at the time. And he was in his sailing boat. And he sailed past the set and said, "Oh, can I be in some of the shots?" So early in the movie, this James Cagney is just in the background as like an extra.
That's pretty good.
Yeah.
Wow. Classic.
Yeah, he asked to be in the movie and they were like, sure.
There you go.
So, and it's probably a good intermission point for us. We have talked a lot about intermission on this podcast. So
Just quickly, can I say one thing? Because I was reminded of this when you mentioned the food, the cheap food and stuff like that. Do you remember the tribe leader when they got to Tahiti? As soon as he met the captain, he was just like, "You're getting fat."
yeah.
And that was like another giveaway that like he's been eating well this whole
He's
time
not
that
been
they've been on the ship. Meanwhile, the crew is like struggling to survive.
Look, his gut got bigger. His eyebrows got
Are you
bigger.
looking at this?
I've just read Josh's notes.
this one right here.
It says, Blight, C-bomb.
Look, he is.
That's it. But that's a good like midpoint in the movie. So they've gotten to Tahiti.
Yep.
Yeah.
Right. Their destination to get these mystical plants to feed the slaves back home.
Yeah.
They've parked up there. Let's crack open the next beer.
Perfect.
I got some gifts for you boys.
I bought the beers. I got you the gifts.
Listen here, you powder monkey. Settle down.
It's another tick.
Yeah. What do we got?
Ooh, naughty.
Fox Friday.
Do we do a live on set Fox Friday podcast one day or what? You reckon they'd let us do that?
I mean, maybe. Do they
Get a
want to?
sponsorship from them.
Well, hopefully
Well.
they don't go under. They just got a new facility.
I'm telling you, if it happens, then we're cursed. And then if you don't want us to shout out your business, send us beer.
Right, we can hold people to ransom.
Ransom.
Exactly.
Yeah,
That's not
ransom.
illegal.
Fox Friday, not a sponsor,
Well, it
but
is-
you'll
you
go
just
under
said-
if you don't.
Yeah.
Just said ransom. Cut the ransom bit out. Like, you know.
All right, what's the name of the
deniable-
beer, Alex?
It's a deniable,
there's no ransom,
Yeah.
Can you read out the name of the beer for us?
Okay. Like every day, like it's Friday. Or is that the motto?
That's their motto.
The name is here.
Oh, bikini. So, let's crack this open.
Is it Dicky Knee?
Bikini.
Dicky Knee. Oh, boy, I got one of them at the moment.
I haven't destroyed your table this time, Barrett.
I can't wait to listen back to the pour. I'm not going to lie.
It's just utter silence while beers are pouring.
No.
How it should be.
Yeah.
All right, we'll put Fox Friday here in front of the brewery
Front
that
and
doesn't
center.
exist.
Catch you later, guys.
Ooh.
Oh, yeah, actually, though, live every day like it's Friday. Fuck it.
That's the dream.
Ooh. So I picked this beer because it had some hops I really like in there. El Dorado. Citra and
Yeah.
Mosaic. Yeah.
All right, one more cheers, boys.
Yeah, one more cheers. Also, while we're up here cheersing, color check.
Thick.
Yeah. Thick.
Boys on.
Yeah.
The beers are thick. The boys are thick.
We have a rule when it comes to beers. It's basically like, you know, that Simpsons scene from back in the day when they're just trying to get really fat.
Yeah.
And Bart gets the fillet of fish, and basically, if you rub it on a piece of paper and it goes see through, you're onto something.
Yeah.
With beer, if you
opposite
can't
of
see
that.
through it, if you can't see through it, you're onto
I
something.
love it when he rubs it on the wall and the wall goes see through.
The bird flies into the wall.
Yeah, there's the glass. Yeah.
Yeah.
No, the wall goes see through, right?
No,
It's
it's
a
a
wall.
diner. It's a diner and it's glass.
No, it's wall.
I'll put $1 billion on him, right?
Okay. We've been watching The Simpsons like from the start recently. It's 100% a wall.
There's a wall.
They're in a diner and it's
He
glass.
rubs the
in a
fruit on the
bird
wall.
smashes
They're in a
through it.
crusty
The wall
burger.
goes
Yeah, the wall goes
see-through?
clear. That's the joke.
because of the oil from the
Really?
bird.
Yeah, that's the joke. Yeah, it's a fish burger because he's like
a fillet of fish, I
He's like
remember that.
fish. I don't know, and then that's why Bart rubs it on the wall, and then a bird flies into the wall because it goes clear.
Kind of makes sense when you say it that way. Actually,
100%.
The glass would already be clear, wouldn't
What that's season 6, I want to say, which is what we're season 5, season 6, which is what we're watching.
it?
at the
Yeah, I'm
moment.
going to pay that. That does make. Wow, it's one of those Mandela things where I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm
there you
certain
go.
it was that.
Yeah, no, it's the
Look,
wall.
I'll forgive you on the $1 billion, but you're buying the beers next week.
Well, yeah, that's what a powder monkey deserves.
Another.
I also love that episode where he thinks he's hitting his target weight and his beer belly is
belly's
stuck on
in
the
there.
tower rack.
On the tower rack, and then it just goes really high, and he goes, "Ooh, he's high." Oh my!
Yeah, oh my.
Oh my!
All right. We're
off track.
Steer.
We're off track,
Yeah,
yeah.
I'm going to grab the
Steer,
rudder.
steer the ship. Let's
All
go.
right,
the
the
rudder.
boat is landing in Tahiti. They're on their destination.
Yeah.
What we didn't mention is it's worth saying that the relationship between the captain and Fletcher all-time low. So Fletcher at this point, before they even got Tahiti, has been calling out the captain. It's getting real dark to a point where the captain's basically calling him a mutinous dog. Well, he did. Call
He
him
did,
a
Yeah,
mutinous dog.
right at this exact moment.
Yeah.
Yeah, 100%.
He is-
Things are bubbling.
Doing it so perfectly though that he won't get in trouble.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Just enough.
Just
He's
enough, yeah.
on the borderline,
Yeah.
right? And he's been operating there
Yeah.
for ages. But it's starting to boil over. But just as it's boiling over, they see Tahiti, and then they park up in Tahiti.
And I really have to call out because I appreciate this moment. When he called him a mutinous dog, Christian's face,
Yeah.
or Clark Gable's face,
Hmm.
fantastic acting. He just looks
I got
shattered.
shingles.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What a man.
Goosebumps. Yeah. Right. Josh,
Hello.
do you want to throw in your dolphin theory here?
Oh God, here we go. Yes, I do.
Dolphin theory.
Yeah, the
this-
dolphin. Well, yeah, the mermaid theory.
We might
we go.
have to cut this out. We'll see how we go for time.
If this makes it in, you're welcome to send me messages telling me if I'm right or wrong. But mermaids.
Yeah.
So here's my thinking about how they were created, right? Or like the theory of them was created.
Yeah.
Imagine you're on a ship. You're on a ship for a year. You've been eating gross salted meat for however long. You've not had any vegetables. You've probably got scurvy. You're not doing too well. You take a look overboard one time and you see these things swimming along, singing, making noises, right? Siren song.
Yeah.
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 You've not seen a woman in a while. You've just been stuck there with your boys. Lots of rum. And
Yep.
you're like, you look over and you're like, damn, that thing's kind of sexy. Right?
Is it the hole in the top of it?
Well, it's like they're really smooth, right? Like, you
They
know,
are so smooth,
they're
aren't they?
quite smooth, right?
Yeah.
And I'm like, they do sing, and you know how there's the whole thing about like the siren songs. They sing the song that attracts you to the water, and then that's how they, yeah. So maybe it's not so much that the sirens, the mermaids, are drowning people or drowning sailors. These sailors are just so drunk and so malnutrition,
Nutrition, yeah.
yeah.
Malnutrition.
That they're like, damn, that dolphin, that mermaid is calling to me. I need to go to it. They dive overboard, they drown. Catch you later. All the boys on board are like, mermaids. Thoughts?
I buy it.
I buy it.
Thoughts?
Yeah.
Yeah. I could be 100% wrong. But also,
Well, look, to be honest with you, Josh, I hope you're wrong because I think mermaids are babes.
Well,
top half fish or bottom half fish?
Bottom half fish.
Yeah.
Well,
You know. Yeah.
I want to know how it works.
I'm seeing a bit of a gap in this podcast. We're missing a Barrett fact.
Oh, well,
And-
hit us. You have a Barrett fact?
Yeah.
No, I
let's
don't
go.
have a Barrett fact.
Oh,
But
you-
I think we can replace it with a Josh fact.
Just this once.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay, I
Josh
love
fact.
it.
perfect.
You
Well,
can carry
it's-
me through this episode.
Also, not a fact, just a theory.
Fair enough.
All right. So
Good call. Mike.
back on the ship. They arrive in.
That's a pun.
Yeah, they arrive in Tahiti. All right. There's locals there. There's food. They're really excited.
Yep.
This is where I want to weave in my next fact.
Is it that fact that the diversity of Tahiti in this movie is very questionable?
Do you want to take off with that first, and I'll come back to my fact because my fact is
Gotta
not that.
call it out. So all these
yeah.
locals come flooding in, and I gotta say, it may have been a black and white movie, but white really stood out.
There was a lot of what, like, granted, there was some, but it was majority were white actors for sure.
Oh yeah,
for
with
sure.
like a little bit of extra makeup.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you have a fact?
Small fact.
Small fact.
So in the filming of the movie, they
Yeah.
used two ships.
Okay.
Okay, so they took one ship, which they took like an old ship and gave it 3 masts, and then that became
Yep.
the Bounty. And then they took another ship, and that became Blight's ship that we'll talk about a little bit later.
Yep.
The 2 ships.
Yep.
Now, I guess I didn't really think about this, but they had to sail the 2 ships from the US to Tahiti to film these scenes.
They filmed it in Tahiti.
Yeah.
Wow.
And they had to sail the ships.
Wow. That's cool.
Yeah, like you,
Yeah, that's pretty rad.
like you think about modern day, they just do it all on a
in a big-
stage with a green
A
screen.
big
And,
pool and yeah.
yeah, no, they actually physically took
Yeah.
the ships to Tahiti to
Wow.
film these episodes.
That's cool. I like that.
Scenes, sorry, not episodes. Yeah. That's my fact.
Good little
Cool.
fact.
I like it.
I guess everyone's in Tahiti. Everyone's starting to have fun, but one person's not allowed to leave the ship.
Yeah. Fletcher.
Our boy Fletcher.
Or Christian. Yep. Fletcher Christian.
No, it's Christian Fletcher.
Christian Fletcher.
No.
No, it's Fletcher.
Fletcher
Oh,
Christian.
Fletcher Christian.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
Call me out.
Wow. Mushmouth, I just...
Yeah, so he's not allowed to leave the ship, but later on he's granted permission.
It's granted permission. Yeah.
And then
yeah.
he does leave the ship, and then that causes...
His punishment, right, for being a mutinous dog, in quotes,
Yeah.
was that he had to stay on ship and watch it at all times.
Yeah.
He got no shore leave.
No, but what happened was...
Sure got no leave.
Hey.
Yeah, sure, yeah. But at some point, the captain let him go out for one day and then tried to call him back really early on.
Yeah, half day. Yeah.
And, Fletcher himself said, he's assuming that the captain's done this intentionally to try and catch him out. Like he wasn't ever supposed to leave, to try and punish him more,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
But he doesn't go back because he's met some Tahiti girl. They've fallen in love.
Yeah, boy.
And he stays... God knows how long on the island.
Gets
Yeah,
one
the
of
other
the
boys.
gets one of the Tahitian boys to just say they couldn't find him.
Yep.
Yeah.
Absolute champion.
What a lad.
Took one for the team.
Absolutely.
You're to report on board immediately.
Oh, I am. I know his game. He gives me shore leave, then recalls it, trying to devil me into insubordination. Well, I'll oblige him. I'll have one day off that coffin ship if I swing for it. Tell him I refuse.
Christian.
And yeah, they live it up in Tahiti for a while. So they're all having a fat time. There's one guy that's trying to learn the language and is writing like dictionaries to do the conversion. And that's not very interesting, but worth a shout
He
out.
was quite mentioned heavily at the start, though. Like, was he
Yeah.
supposed to be someone important?
Oh, I don't know. He's one of the, not the captain, but he's one of the officers or
Yeah,
whatever.
he was
right?
one of the
Like
officers.
Fletcher.
But like,
yeah.
remember when he said goodbye to his family, they seemed like it was like maybe like the governor or something like that. He was
Maybe. He's definitely got clout.
He was
Sure.
yeah.
Yeah.
Perfect way to put it. Yeah.
Yeah.
He had some clout.
Yeah. And then, he was doing a lot of intellectual work. The others
Yeah.
were just having fun, but
Yeah.
he was trying
to learn
assess the
and-
language,
yeah.
convert it, learn it, and he did. He could speak fluent
Tahitian.
Tahitian.
Yeah.
And he was working as a translator, even
Yeah.
for like Fletcher with his wife, who, clearly could
Spoke
speak
nothing.
English.
Oh, she could say yes. I do remember that bit.
Typical
There was
1935.
consent.
She
There
could
was
say
consent.
yes.
no.
Yeah.
Another bit that happened in that time of the movie that stood out to me was he's offering one of the guys in the tribe, maybe it's the chief, I'm not sure, the option of a nail or a shilling.
Well, it's explained to him the concept of money.
Concept of
And
money,
he goes,
yeah.
which one would you pick? And the guy's like, the nail.
Yeah.
And he's like, well, what if I told you this shilling could buy 10 nails? And he's just,
Yeah.
Yeah.
But then he was also saying, well, hang on, that you have, fruit and food and fish in England? And he goes, yeah, plenty of it. He goes, but you have to use the money. And he's like, yeah, I'll stay here.
yeah, he's not interested.
So that all happens, and then basically, Fletcher doesn't go back to the boat until everyone else is required to because they're ready to leave.
Yeah.
Right? So
Everyone's got friends, family, gifts by this point. The Tahitians have just been handing out all their goods, and women, like, they're going out of fashion.
But
Yeah.
what did Fletcher get from his missus before he left?
Fletcher got 2 gigantic pearls.
Yes.
Great.
Massive pearls
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they were
as a gift for his mother.
for his mother. Yeah. He
Yeah.
was going to take them back to his mother. So
Sorry, I just wanted to say something.
Here we
I
go.
thought this is a PG podcast.
Come on, let it out. Let it out.
No. Anyway,
Barrack can bleep it if it's too dirty.
no, I don't trust Barrett.
Hamish and Andy have a section called Keep It or Delete It.
Oh, yeah.
So we don't know whether it's going to be kept or deleted. So say it.
Say it. We can. Yeah. There's always post. Let's go.
I was just going to say that.
Right. Moving right along.
That can stay in. Let that stay in. Let that stay in.
We're back on the ship. Blight's not happy. Christian, because he didn't report back for duties.
Yeah.
And then he accuses Christian of stealing 12 coconuts.
Yeah,
They
the
were
coconuts.
taking every single gift that any of the sailors got as well, right?
Yes, he always also
Mm-hmm.
Took every single thing that any of the Tahitian gifts were taken as soon as they got on board.
Yeah.
Yeah. And they deemed the pearls as
King's property, yeah.
property of the king, yeah. There was one other thing I'm reading here.
That was the camel straw. We sort of
the camel
decided.
straw.
Yeah, taking away the
well,
pearls was the camel straw.
There was one
for
thing that
sure.
happened before the camel's straw happened. One other thing happened, and that's Josh died.
Oh yeah,
The
My
doctor.
boy, the surgeon, died. Yeah,
Yeah.
and not enough rum in the world apparently.
Yeah.
Yeah. And that was like a real turning point for Fletcher because, the captain forced him.
Yeah,
He was really sick. He was really unwell. They forced him on deck, walking around, and then he just fell to the floor and
fell to
died.
the floor and died.
Yeah,
Yeah,
pissed a lot of people off.
Yeah. So Fletcher, or
well,
Christian,
pretty much the whole crew probably. He was.
Yeah, everyone was starting to
handing
grab
out rum, dude.
weapons.
Like, I'd be fuming.
Yeah.
Yeah. Are we going to call him Fletcher? I should probably change that because I keep
We
calling
keep
him
jumping
Christian
between it.
and Fletcher, and this is going to get very confusing for people trying to follow along.
I think it's hard because we have a friend called Fletcher, so I'm just naturally gravitating towards Fletcher.
Towards Fletcher, yeah.
No, shout out to Fletcher.
He's a little bit of a pirate as well, isn't he?
All right, so Fletcher's ready to snap. The next thing I have written on my piece of paper is mutiny! ! Yeah,
There it is, guys.
That's the mutiny.
on the Bounty.
yeah,
Bounty's a ship. Mutiny did it happen.
great montage.
You're the best around.
Right, so Captain Blight wakes up and he's taken hostage.
Yep.
Yeah,
All of the captains.
So it's led by Fletcher.
Yeah.
He cracks it. They grab
Muskets, hooks, knives.
Yep.
Anyone that doesn't agree with them is locked up.
yeah, essentially.
How a mutiny works. Perfect.
They take all of the people that aren't on board with the mutiny and put them off board.
Technically, yeah,
Technically.
that's how it works.
They put them all on a what can only be described as a rowboat.
Big rowboat, though.
big rowboat.
Big rowboat.
Yeah.
Not all the people that are
Agreed?
against- I'm
Or
very confused at
disagreed?
how I'm going to say this.
Yeah.
Not all the people that agreed to the mutiny
Yeah.
can fit on the rowboat. So some of them.
Disagreed with the mutiny. There was. Yeah, how do you say this?
Yeah.
Okay, you blue-nosed baboons. Let me take over.
Here we go.
Let me just add in a tick.
Yeah, I'm glad that you wrote both of those down. I'm not gonna lie.
Go on.
So Fletcher leads the mutiny. The rowboat, big rowboat that they have, doesn't fit all the mutineers. I'm going to call them
mutineers.
Mutineers.
I said
Mutineers are the
mutiny or
people.
Mutineers are the people that are doing it. The mutinees are the ones that
Okay,
have
you
been
blue baboon.
mutineered.
Blue nose baboon. Close.
All right. So not everyone that's on board with the mutiny
Yeah.
is able to get off board.
No. But so to set the scene as well, again, it just wouldn't fit everyone that didn't want a mutiny.
Yeah.
But there were a couple like that officer that we talked about, the one that's got clout,
The smart guy,
the
yeah.
smart guy, the one who's doing
the
the
governor's-
translating. Good friends with
Yeah,
Fletcher,
yeah,
who
yeah.
didn't agree with the mutiny. So him and another officer, they were trying to rebel, and they'd planned something in the deck to take the muskets off some of the people doing the mutiny and try and lead the revolt that way, right?
Got their ass handed to them.
They got smacked around, and then still they're in the same situation, in the same boat, where they couldn't fit on the boat. So that happened to them, so they had to stay. And even though saying, "Well, no, we want to go off with the captain. We're not mutineers." And Fletcher was like, "Sorry, you won't fit. Bye now."
You're here. Deal with it.
Yeah, sends off the captain with his little rowboat full of men down, and basically they're yelling at him like, "We're 3,500 miles away from somewhere we can actually go. You're sending us to our death."
Yeah.
And Fletcher was pretty fucking brutal.
Yeah.
yeah. So whoopsie.
Oh
Yeah.
no!
Whoopsie-tee.
Sorry. yeah.
So they're set off to basically to their death. And
Well, because they passed one.
They
bit of land.
gave them food. They gave them water.
They did.
Yeah,
because they
very
remember
fair.
they passed some land where they couldn't go to. That was a lot closer because it was a.
He mentioned the
cannibal
cannibals, right?
Yeah.
Did cannibals actually exist? I have that down here on my list.
Hmm.
Was that actually a thing? Because I've watched lots of documentaries.
It's still a thing.
Yeah, but I don't think they're like actually cannibals. Like, again, this is me maybe making
Have you
shit
seen
up.
the Green Inferno?
No.
Wow, we need to add that to the list. ready
I've
for
just
a
like
big
I've heard that
time.
like a lot of it, like the whole like cannibal theory was like a lot of tribes people would like after someone died, they would eat certain parts of their body to
exactly.
follow
I'm
it
sure a
on.
lot of it
It
was
wasn't like they
tradition.
were killing people
100%.
and eating them.
It would be tradition or religious views and all sorts of stuff like that.
So like if
yeah.
they rocked up, they probably would have been fine.
But they weren't willing to take that chance.
I wouldn't take the chance.
Because at this point, they're still thinking we can make it. And,
I mean, it's the 1700s, so
well, yeah. So they,
mean-
yeah.
a like lady knowing how to write was considered witchcraft probably. So like
Exactly.
yeah.
Yeah.
God.
Well, fair point.
I
But,
mean, that's how it was.
so at this point, then it actually just focuses on the original captain and that crew on that little boat and their journey.
Yeah, because Christian or Fletcher has set sail back to Tahiti, right, and throws all of the plants overboard.
Yeah. So Barrett, what
That's
happens? with-
that's the breadfruit trees which they were trying to bring
oh
back.
yeah,
by the
yeah,
way.
yeah. They all get tossed.
Which we did kind of skip over that.
Yeah, it's a good point.
They brought on hundreds of these trees to bring back to the UK or Britain or wherever they were going. There was not enough water to keep them alive. Blake, the captain, was just like, easy, brother. We'll just cut the rations, the water rations for the rest of the crew to keep the plants alive.
Yeah,
Yeah, that led
That's
also
a lot
to the
of,
mutiny,
yeah,
right?
yeah.
So that happens.
a
They're
part
going
of
back
the
to
straws
Tahiti.
on the camels.
Yeah, that was yeah.
Camel straws.
The camel was not stoked about that.
So they're off to Tahiti. The little plants are gone. Cuts to the captain now on their journey to find land or die in the water. And that's what it focuses on for the next maybe 10, 15 minutes of the movie.
Yeah.
Follows them. So basically, the crew are all worried, saying, Captain, like, what do we do? And it's funny, right? Because in this moment, the captain shows his most humanity, right?
Literally, he's the nicest bloke.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's like making sure everyone gets fed, everything's equal. Guys, we're going to make it. I'm like, mate, if you were just like this on the boat,
Yeah.
Yeah.
you would have been fine.
Yeah.
Was it they caught that bird, right?
Yeah, they caught that pigeon,
And
yeah.
instead of seagull,
Yeah,
he
yeah,
offered
seagull.
it to like the sickest guy first.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Instead of feeding
Yeah, it was really wholesome.
Yeah,
I
it
don't
was.
know.
Yeah,
I don't understand the flip.
Well,
he was about
Yeah.
to die.
I guess he, realized that he relied on those people on that little boat now.
Yeah.
Because if they had
Without
enough of them
them,
too,
yeah.
he doesn't have another boat to go to. So,
Yeah.
in any case, or I don't know, like maybe he wasn't all bad. I don't know. But
have a feeling he was all bad.
He's a bit of a dick.
Yeah.
But you know what they made
Says
very
right here.
clear on the main boat originally and on this boat is that he was a fucking great sailor, right? Like
Yes.
Yeah.
he knew the ocean.
He knew what he was
Yeah,
doing.
he
He
knew
knew what he
doing.
was
Yeah.
doing.
Yeah,
And by God, he got him out of it. So, you know, they're basically starving. They've got no food or water. They're all a mess. They're skin and bone. But after a long period of time, that son of a gun gets them to land. It's some sort of colony that's connected with the UK. It was like a Dutch colony, but friendly colony.
Friendly, yeah. No cannibals.
And gets them over there.
Yeah.
Wow. And then you don't see them again for a long time.
Just a little bit, yeah.
Because then it goes back to
old
Fletcher.
Fletcher.
They got back to Tahiti.
Living his damn life.
Yeah.
Back
Yeah.
to his squeeze.
Back to his squeeze.
They're enjoying life over Christmas.
It was Christmas.
Yep, they're singing Christmas songs.
He's got a kid.
Yeah. They're laying in the sun. And Josh made a comment at this exact moment of this. So it's Christian or Fletcher and someone else laying on their backs in the sun.
Oh, shirts off.
Shirts are off.
Sun's out.
They grab
Big pond.
They grab a banana to eat the banana, and Josh says, "Oh, I don't know if I'd like a banana, but I sure would love."
Oh, yeah. A big old juicy oat cream IPA.
He was frothing. He thought if I was in a situation and an oak
That
cream
is the
IPA came
absolute
by,
dream,
he'd
dude.
be done.
Maybe
Lying down shirtless next to a body of water with a big old oat cream. I can't think of anything better.
Would you accept a Kruger cream ale?
Okay, that's second for sure. For sure. I've got two hands.
Oh yeah.
All right. So they're enjoying their life on the Tahiti island.
Yep.
And the English ship shows up. Right?
Yeah, as someone blows the horn that the ship is
Also,
coming.
we need to mention that it's been years.
Yeah,
Fletcher's
yes.
got a kid.
Yeah.
They've established themselves.
Well,
in
he
Tahiti.
says, what's the young sailor that didn't want to leave, right? He's like, his son would be 3 by now.
Yeah.
So it's been at least 3 years.
I would say 3 years
Yeah.
is good
Yeah.
marker.
Yeah.
And it makes sense, right? By the time, everything happens,
Yeah.
Blight works his way home, gets another
Gets
ship,
another
comes
ship.
back to seek revenge.
yeah.
Yeah.
So again, big spoiler, but obviously the boat that's coming, this other English boat, it's got the captain on it.
Yeah.
What's
And-
that ship called?
Didn't write it down.
Pandora.
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 Yep. And then we go into Mutiny on the Pandora. Oh, no, hang on, I'm kidding.
Finally, the sequel. Let's go.
Did you say Mutiny Squared?
Mutiny Squared.
So the English ship shows up, and Fletcher and his crew leave on the bounty.
So 3 things happen. We need to make this very
Yeah, come
clear
on.
because
Yeah,
it's important.
run through.
Right? And you know this. Actually, go ahead, Josh. The 3 things that happen.
No, you go.
All right.
Yeah,
so
yeah.
the first group, Fletcher, gets the bounty. They still
That's
got
right.
the bounty.
There is 3 groups.
There's 3 groups. He takes the people that want to go with him, knowing they've got nowhere to go, and that if that's got the captain on it or they're there to collect them, that there's only one result from that, and that's their death
Yep.
or hanging, right?
Yeah.
So he collects most of them, and they get on a boat, and
They take
Yep.
their wives, their friends that they've made.
The kids.
They take everything that they've
Yep.
gained over the last couple of years with them.
and they
Set
bail.
sail. Get
They
the
set
fuck
sail.
out
They
of
don't
there.
know where they're going. Basically, they just said, look, we just need to find
Just
a random little
get out of
island.
here, just go.
And
Yeah.
we're going to make it our own, right? That's their plan. And this is happening very quickly. There's another group that don't want to leave the island, but were obviously mutineers and couldn't go back to England and didn't want to get caught. So they were rolling the dice by staying in Tahiti in hiding, trying to avoid the English guys coming and just stay in Tahiti. And then the third group were the group that actually weren't mutineers.
They wanted to leave
Yeah.
with the captain.
They wanted to get in that little boat but couldn't fit,
Yeah.
including like the other officer with
Smart
Clout,
boy.
kind of main character
Clout
too. Do we have his name?
We should have got his name.
Oh, well, that guy. So they're like, well, no, like we're going back to England now. Like we weren't mutinies. We'll explain. Everything will be swell. Not swell. We'll get
Was
to
not
that. But
swell.
anyway, so those are the three groups,
Yes.
right? Okay. Bo rocks up. Fletcher's gone. We don't see them again for a little bit. The guys that are in hiding, we don't see yet. But the guys that were willing to go back to England and explain themselves, they get on the boat. And what happens next? Barrett?
One of
Oh, Josh?
those that is included in that I want to go back was willingly part of the mutiny. But he just wanted to go back and see his wife and kids, right?
Yeah.
And he's like, I'll take it. I just want to see them again once more.
This the same guy that didn't
This
want
is
to go.
This is the same guy that didn't want to go at the very
Yeah,
beginning
Yeah.
with the
He-
family. Yeah.
He wanted to
Yeah.
see his son and wife, and he was rolling the
Yeah.
dice.
Yeah. He was like, I'll risk it.
yeah.
Yeah.
So Captain Blight takes them as prisoners.
Yep.
And then essentially takes off in his ship after Fletcher.
Yep.
And does some chasing.
But hang on. So the boys have gone on the boat to, explain themselves and go back to England. That's when we discover the captain is indeed on there.
Yes.
But they don't treat him in the way they expect. So
No, they're in shackles.
Yeah, in shackles down below, treated like prisoners.
he throws them straight in the hold as prisoners. They try to explain like, hey, we weren't mutineers or the rest of it. The captain's having none of it. He's real salty.
He's
salty
gone
like the sea.
Back to big ship wanker, Captain.
Big time.
Yeah.
Throws them all in the hold. He demands that they explain to him where Fletcher's gone.
That's right, yeah.
They obviously don't know because they genuinely don't know. He's not buying it.
I mean, Fletcher doesn't know where he was going, right? He was just sailing in circles, just looking for somewhere to stop.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like a real powder monkey.
All right, so Blight sends his ship after Fletcher and sinks it-ish. Sinks-ish?
Oh, yeah, he runs aground.
Runs aground.
And
Ruins.
absolutely puts it into the water.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, ruins it.
Yeah.
yes.
We then cut to a scene where they're in...
So he's lost 2 of the king's ships.
Yes.
Terrible captain, not going to lie.
We cut to a scene where they're in court. They're arguing their points. Where it's basically told there'll be a knife or a dagger or a knife on the table. If it's pointing towards you, you're found guilty. If it's pointing across the table, you're found not guilty. Guy walks in, knife pointing towards him.
This is the guy that clapped the other
This
officer,
is
right?
the clout guy, yeah.
But he's also super intelligent, which we talked about before.
Yeah.
And he does, he has this monologue scene.
Yeah, he has his speech.
Yeah. Smashes
Absolutely.
the captain to smithereens.
Yes.
Absolutely tears him one.
Yeah. So then after they find that guy guilty, he goes to like commemorate the captain on his sailing.
One of the judges, right?
The judge,
He comes over to the captain and says,
Goes to shake his hand.
well, the captain tries to shake his hand.
Yeah.
The other guy's like having none of it, but he's explaining himself and says,
That was a good...
the way that you were able to, with that boat, get back to shore is unbelievable. It's incredible.
Yeah. Your navigation is crazy. It's wild.
But I ain't shaking that hand.
But you fucking suck, essentially.
Yeah. Clearly,
Yeah.
you led to this.
That was a good scene, absolutely shutting him down. Yeah.
So at this point, we've got that guy. He's been found guilty, and clearly the others have also been found guilty.
Yeah.
Right? Including the guy that just wanted to see.
They're all destined to the gallows.
Yeah, he just wanted to see his wife and daughter and son. Last time, and he was able to do that.
He was able to do it. He did get that.
Yeah, he was able to see him one last time. They made that clear, but they were all found guilty.
Yeah.
Yeah. And then we cut to the last scenes of the movie where...
There was the... Fletcher, they did find an island.
Yeah.
we'll get to that.
That's the last scene.
Was that the last scene, or was the last...
So they're the last...
Getting
the
ahead
last-
of myself.
scene.
the last-
Second last scene.
It's the last scene of the island. The last scene of the movie is Fletcher discovering an island, and they decide... Well, first of all, someone calls out that there's no beach for them to land on, and Fletcher's like, no. We're
That's
just
the
going
point.
to full send into the rocks.
Yeah.
And once the ship breaks up, we're going to burn it to the ground.
Your new home, lads. There she is, Pitcairn's Island. There's no anchorage, sir. No place to land. That's why I chose it. It's my plan to run the bounty in head on, salvage what we can, and then burn her.
Hell yeah.
And
Yep.
There's a bit of argument, but they eventually all agree that's the best outcome.
Yes.
Do you reckon that the chocolate bars are named after the boat?
Oh,
They
man.
sailed to Tahiti, right? And
Uh-huh.
like the first thing that happened was like people were giving them coconuts and shit.
I have no idea.
Hang on. There's something to this.
Yeah, because the bounty is chocolate and coconut.
So hang on. We know that this story came out before the chocolate. I can almost guarantee
I
that.
almost guarantee that it did.
Let's say it is, and it must be. It's a well-known story.
Yeah,
It's a well-known
like
movie.
the bounty, the ship. Like isn't there like a ride? There's an arcade, like
Hang
the ride
on.
that's called the
I'm,
bounty.
I'm giving this a goog. Hang on.
Please.
I need to know the origins of that chocolate.
We are. I just need to clarify well over time.
That's fine. That's fine.
We need to know.
People will listen. This has been thrilling for me.
I don't-
And I just watched the movie.
I don't think they're going to hang on this long. Plus, we still have to get dinner.
We're almost done, guys. Just let us find out about the chocolate bar.
All right, I'm going to throw my fact while you're.
Yeah, you
on
Google. You Google.
So my last fact, fact number 5, which is a good number to finish on, considering we started on 4. Clark Gable thought that he was miscast in this movie. He came out and said that right after the movie was filmed.
Who was that? That was
Fletcher.
Fletcher.
Yeah. And then he later came back saying that it was the best movie he ever starred in.
He did a damn good job.
He did a fantastic job. His acting.
The whoever the actor was that played the captain as well, like, damn good villain.
Yeah.
I fucking hated him.
Yeah.
I would risk the gallows
Josh.
and mutiny against
Say
him.
it. I'll bleep
No,
it.
I'm not gonna. It starts with a C and ends with a T, but he is absolutely one of those.
Yeah.
And you get that hard in the movie.
All right, Alex, your Googling is taking far too long.
Yeah, what are you doing?
God, there's a lot to it, actually.
We're not.
We haven't even finished how the movie finished.
Well, that is the end of the movie.
Well, no, because remember, it actually ends with old mate, Clout Mate, doesn't go to the gallows.
Yeah,
He ends up back on another ship.
Yeah.
They let him live.
The king gives him
Gives him a pardon,
pardon. Yeah,
and he's back out on another boat, ready to go again.
yeah.
Yeah.
Cool ending. So I guess all the other guys died, including the guy that just wanted to see his wife.
The guy that wanted to see is 100%. He 100%.
Yeah, they all died. But yeah, you're right. That's how it ends. So,
Yeah.
the officer got away with it.
Yeah.
We assume that, Fletcher and his cronies, they all live in the island.
Happy, nice, weird, incestual island, probably.
Bounty couldn't find that fact. But you know what? I think we should just label that another Josh fact because it adds up.
Story checks out.
It checks out.
Story checks out, yeah.
We need to rate this movie.
Join
and we need
me.
to wrap this up.
Join me next month for other chocolate bar facts.
Just wanted to throw it out there before we get to the ratings.
Okay.
Very quickly. So this movie was remade 2 times that at least I could find, probably a lot more. In 1962, a 3-hour plus remake came out. Yeah.
2 hours was enough.
Oh, yeah. And it starred Marlon Brando. Okay, fun fact, not you. You, Barrett. Marlon Brando. Who is he?
No idea.
You know,
I
right?
know Marlon Brando.
Okay. Barrett, please. So Marlon Brando's the Godfather. Again,
never
he's
seen
the
it.
Clark Gable of
Never
later
seen
time.
it.
Anyway.
I can't judge. I only watched it like 3 weeks
I'm
ago.
gonna
for the first time.
Jesus Christ. Anyway, I'm
gonna see it.
Doing a podcast with a bunch of blue nose baboons. So had Marlon Brando in it. Also nominated for Best Picture, but didn't win in 1962. And also, again, made in 1984. And I like this one. Movie called The Bounty, and it starred Anthony Hopkins as the evil captain.
I get it.
And the main guy, Mel Gibson.
Yes, I did see
No,
that. Yeah,
true.
Yeah. So
Huh.
it wasn't nominated for anything, but also remade then.
I mean, third remake. It was probably garbage.
Yeah, give up on it.
Yeah.
Right? Yeah.
Well, what did you say again?
1984.
Oh, there was probably some bangers coming out around that time.
Yeah, definitely.
We'll get to those.
Yeah, that was
coming.
That was the peak of movies.
They're
I'm
coming
not
next
gonna
year
lie.
sometime.
Yeah.
just
You have to
before we-
wait for that.
Just before we get to the ratings as well, I want to call out I said Blue Nose Baboon 3 times.
Yes.
Great.
Nice.
And I said Powder Monkey 5 times.
Definitely carried the theme into the episode.
We didn't even mention that though. Those were 2 insults. The baboon, I think we mentioned, but the powdered monkey we didn't. Someone got called
yeah.
a powder monkey in the movie.
Well, okay, so do you remember that? So it was the guy, again, this guy that was one of the mutineers, and he wanted to see his wife and son one last time.
Yeah, that guy, yeah.
So when he was trying to defend himself, he asked one of the witnesses of his acts to say, look, well, what did I do? He goes, oh, okay, you didn't use any weapons, but you called the captain some names. And the judges are like, well, what did he call him? And he goes, he called him a blue-nosed baboon.
Blue-nosed baboon. Yeah. Blue-nosed baboon and a powder monkey. The powder monkey he called it to the girl, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Loved it.
Great.
Powder monkey, great.
Love it.
Okay,
Wrap this up.
we're wrapping it up.
We're at almost
Hang on.
an hour and 20.
So like
Perfect.
we do with our guests, Josh, how many Joshes do you give out of 5?
Okay, I'm so torn on this, right? You said that you do like 0.5 stars. I'm giving it 2.5.
Yep.
If I could give it 2.75, I would, because it was slightly better than average. I wouldn't watch it again, but I also enjoyed watching it.
Nice.
Yeah.
Be glad that you've seen it.
I'm glad that I've seen it. I can tick it off the list.
Yeah.
Like, but
Like a second week.
I'm not gonna, yeah. I'm not gonna like write home about it. I'm not gonna be like telling people, oh, you should go watch this movie. But like, it was good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good. Barrett, how many Barretts?
3.5.
Oh, we
3.5.
liked it.
I
Fair.
did like it. I thought it was not quite as good as All Quiet on the Western Front and not quite as good as Cavalcade.
Okay, fair.
They go both of them 4s.
This kind of works quite well. Again, we never
Damn,
talk
generous.
about we never talk about our ratings before this, but I actually gave it 3.
There you go.
So right between you two.
Yeah.
Perfect.
I thought it was decent.
Yeah.
I liked some parts of it. I liked the acting. I thought it was a decent story. Yeah, it was good. I thought, I guess we've watched so many terrible movies, especially recently. That the last week's was really good, but that. Maybe I would have given it a 2.5 stars had some of the movies we've watched so far been better.
They're better than the
Yeah.
shit that you've watched.
But I think there's been very few that I've enjoyed. And I thought this was enjoyable. So then I'm probably giving that extra half a star that maybe I wouldn't have.
Yeah.
But I'm going to go with 3 stars.
I was so torn. I wanted to give it a 3 because I felt like 2.5 was too harsh. But that, like I said, 2.75 because 3 I feel like is too high. 2.5 is too low. It's in that range.
Fair.
It's in that range.
I like it. All right. Look, wrap it up before Barrett explodes.
Yeah.
So just
If you've made it this far, by the way, thank you.
Oh, yes. Just want to have a chat. Thank you, Josh, for coming on. I'm sure we'll see you again.
I
It'll
will
great.
be back.
You will be back.
100% guaranteed.
Absolutely.
Yeah, leave a comment if you like Josh or Mandy more.
Well, actually, yeah, we do want to know that. Definitely.
Oh, yeah. I get Maddie back as well.
God, the 4 of us. Gee, that's too much.
No.
That's too much. That's too
Okay.
much.
So, just to recap, Mutiny on the Bounty, 1935, winner of Best Picture. Barrett gave it 3.5. I gave it 3. And our special guest, Josh, gave it 2.5.
Yeah.
Watch it.
Yeah.
Watch it just to say you've watched it.
Give it a watch.
Yeah.
Give it a
Don't
watch.
watch it again.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, definitely don't watch it twice.
Close your comments, Barrett.
Thanks for listening.
Beautiful. Thanks, everyone.
Peace.